Hi, my name's Patty and I'm a prepper. No, this isn't some kind of 12-step program, I promise. I just wanted to hop on really quick and explain what prepping is. I had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day and she had no idea what prepping was, so I thought maybe other people don't either, and that maybe it'd be worthy of having a discussion. So to me, prepping is simply being prepared for a situation that might happen to you and your family and being able to handle the situation yourself. We're not always going to have people a phone call away to be able to help us. I prep because as a child I was poor, and as soon as I was able to sustain myself, I had a full pantry. To me, that felt safe. That's what I needed to do for my preps. My preps and your preps may be completely different preps. There's a whole spectrum of prepping, from pantry prepping all the way through societal collapse prepping. And we all kind of land on that continuum somewhere, from the Band-Aid in your pocketbook, which most mommies have, or maybe you have a toddler, a 3-year-old, and you have a change of clothes, because God knows you're going to need them. You may also have a diaper and formula, and somewhere under the toys in the back of the minivan is also a sweater. Well, you're a prepper. It's just different on the continuum from where other people may be. For me, prepping is about the what ifs and then the plans that take care of you in that what if. For instance, what if you ran out of gas? Do you have tennis shoes in the back of your car that will allow you to walk to the gas station, or are you going to have to walk to the gas station in your high heels? What if your little one falls off the playground equipment and breaks an arm? Do you have what you need to make your little one comfortable before emergency help gets there, or are you just going to stand around and wait? What if you don't have heat in your home? For instance, just this last week, the utilities were cut off to an Aspen town here, a little town in Aspen. 3,000 people without gas. They were waiting for the utility company to bring them heaters. If that happened in your community, would you be able to keep your family warm? That's the kind of what ifs that I'm talking about. And there are what ifs that have more probability, and those are the ones that you prepare for first. What if there's a snowstorm and I don't have electric? That's a pretty high probability here in Colorado. To the what ifs society collapses, that's not as high a probability. Completely more devastating, but not as high a probability. So as you're preparing for these other probability, the more probability what ifs, you're actually working your way towards the less likely probabilities that are more catastrophic. So that's kind of my thinking about it. I do what's called everyday carry. So on my person, I have things that I would need to save my life. I have my gun, I have a tourniquet, I have the keys to my car, I have my cell phone. If somebody walks away with my handbag, I'm golden. I can still take care of myself. They're going to get a little extra cash and some credit cards, which I can cancel. No big deal. But I'm still safe. In my handbag, I do have a step up in preparedness items. So I'll show that to you some other time. I'll make another video. In my car, I have yet another step up of preparedness. I have an emergency bag that has gear in it in the event that I'm stuck in my car, or if I have to abandon my car, that I can make it home. Now, my emergency bag is different than my husband's emergency bag. He works further from home, so he would be exposed to the elements longer, so he has a different level of things in his everyday carry bag. I also have a med bag, and my med bag is going to be different than your med bag. You may have a boo-boo kit, and I may have a trauma kit. It's completely dependent on where we are in the spectrum. I personally spend a lot of time in the backcountry, so we have to be prepared that if somebody gets injured, life-threatening injury, that we can maintain that person's survival until a helicopter can come in. My son broke his shoulder when we were in the backcountry motorcycle riding, and we were completely able to maintain his comfort. Of course, he probably wouldn't say it was very comfortable, but we were able to sling his shoulder, ice his shoulder, give him pain meds, and get him off the mountain to the hospital. But after that event, I re-examined my med bag and realized there were things that I needed to add to my med bag. So now, if we're in the backcountry and somebody slices their leg with a chainsaw, I can put on a tourniquet. I can stuff the wound. We can do a compression bandage. We can totally save somebody's life while we're waiting for the helicopter to come in. That same med bag would be extremely useful if I happened upon a car accident. I could totally take care of somebody and save their life. So there's a whole spectrum of preparedness. And everybody is somewhere along the line, and you have to decide what's right for you and your family. Do you have 2 days worth of food at home? Do you have 3 days? Do you have a week? The Mormons believe that you should have 2 years worth of food. And to me, that's realistic. May not be realistic for you. But if, for some reason, there's a snowstorm, you can't get out of the house for a week, can you feed your kids? That's something you need to think about. You really need to be able to rely on yourself and your family for your protection and your care. So that's really what preparedness is. You got a Band-Aid, you're a prepper. If you have any questions or you'd like to talk about where your family is on that spectrum and how you can move up or what other things you can add, I'd love to chat with you about it. And I will try to produce a couple of extra videos that kind of show my everyday carry stuff and my emergency bags, my med bag, just so you can get a feel of what kinds of things are out there for you and what might be a solution for you and your family. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.